My value is tied to my presence. Presence in my business, presence with my family, presence with myself, and in all of the little magical, irrelevant moments that make up this beautiful life. You are listening to the Beyond the Classroom podcast, a podcast for burnt-out teachers who know something's gotta give. After teaching for 14 years and feeling completely burned out for way too long, in May of 2022, I made a big decision and left the classroom. I now help burnt-out teachers like you take back balance and joy so you can wake up every day loving your life. In this podcast, we'll explore who you are beyond the classroom, whether you're considering leaving or wanting to make changes so you can fall in love with teaching again. Either way, I understand what it's like to be living a life that looks fun and cute on the outside. You know, summer's off, playing all day, off at 2 o'clock every day, but actually feels miserable and draining. I'm your host and coach, Sandy Patterson, and I'm so excited to help you step into your fullest potential and believe in that potential to make an impact on the world, not just survive each day. Are you ready? Let's do this. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Beyond the Classroom podcast. I am Sandy Patterson, your host and certified life and business coach, and happy 2024. This is the first episode that I am recording after the new year. It's January 1st right now, and I am coming into this new year with such great energy. I spent New Year's Eve and New Year's morning just with people that I love and that energize me and that I just adore, and I'm so excited for what this year has to bring. I know that it's going to be amazing, and I am all about just going for it, going for everything that we want, and not only that, but getting it. Like, I'm done messing around. So let's do this. Now that it's the new year, I want to touch on this idea of productivity. I had quite a few of you reach out to me on Instagram and ask for productivity, tips, suggestions, ideas. And it's this idea, I kind of got this idea and this sense from most of the messages that I got that productivity is the end game. And I know that it's the new year and we're all fired up and we all want to hit the ground running in 2024. I feel that too. I really, really do. I feel the same way. However, I want to take a little bit of a different look at productivity today before we really dive into the strategies and tips and tricks. I think because a lot of people look at me like I'm pretty productive. I'm a productive person. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it. I don't mess around. And I think that people see that in me and they admire that. However, for me, I have to be really careful about this because I have this thing. It's like that Taylor Swift song, right? I have this thing. So this thing is that in the past, and this is something that's come to light for me recently, is that I have tied my value to productivity in the past. And I recognize that now that if I continue to tie my value to productivity, I'm basically screwed and I'm fighting an uphill battle here. And that's because I will completely work myself to the bone, wanting to do just a little bit more and a little bit more. And let me just finish a little bit more. And before you know it, I'm crying under the kitchen table because number one, I'm exhausted and feeling like I'm on the verge of burnout. And number two, I'll never live up to the pressure I placed on myself to just produce. I placed value on my productivity. And I'm willing to guess that probably many of you have done the same in the past, or maybe you do this and you haven't recognized it. So let's talk about this idea of productivity and hustle culture and your never-ending to-do list. Am I right? Do you ever feel like sometimes it's this competition too for like who can be busier, who can be more productive, who can accomplish more, who can have more certificates, who can get more? It's just this more. And really we're chasing this idea that once the list is all done, right? That productivity, once the list is all done, that we'll finally get to relax and we'll have some time to not worry about anything. And we'll have a day or a week or even just an hour to just not worry about all the things on our to-do list, because everything will be done, and we'll close the computer and we'll walk away and we'll have this beautiful quality time with our family. Okay, question for you. Has that actually ever happened to you? Have you ever finished everything on your to-do list and then you're like, perfect, I have nothing to think about now. I can just relax. Okay, that never happens. There's always more, because the to-do list literally never ends. Literally. I think I say literally a lot, but I really mean that. I really mean it. It never ends, especially in business, especially in teaching, especially in parenting, especially in juggling all of the things that you are juggling and all of those different hats that you are wearing. Your to-do list will never end. And the second that you cross one thing off, 5 more things are going to pop on there. Now, I'm not saying this to discourage you or like, I love me a good to-do list. I do that thing where I write things down that I've already done just so I can cross them off. I get it. But let's think about this for a second, because we're spinning this idea of productivity and what productivity is going to look like for us as we move forward in this new year. Now think about it like this. Think about the laundry, okay? And for whatever reason, laundry doesn't bother me. I don't particularly like doing laundry. I live with 2 young kids and a husband and myself, so there's always laundry. And there's that rare moment where all of the laundry is done. So everything has been placed in the washing machine. We ran the washing machine. We managed to move it over to the dryer. It's all dried. It's all warm and fluffy. We take it out of the dryer. We fold it all and put it all away where it belongs. And there's that moment where there's no laundry in the baskets. There's no laundry in the washing machine. There's no laundry in the dryer. It's all put away. But I'm telling you, 5 seconds later, there's a dirty pair of socks back in the laundry basket. For whatever reason, that does not bother me. Like when you put the dirty socks in the laundry in that empty laundry basket, it doesn't bother me that moment of like, oh, the laundry is all done is gone. Because I just know, right? It's just a fact that there's always going to be laundry coming in, because we're always wearing clothes. The boys are playing outside, like things spill, that's just life. Like there's always laundry. So let's think about our to-do list kind of like laundry, and this idea that like there's never ever going to be a moment where it's all done and it's all cleared off and it's done. It's always going to be there. So if we can shift into this idea that the to-do list is always going to be there, and that we're chasing this unrealistic expectation of when the list is done, I'll finally get to relax. We begin to sit in this idea, we begin to get more comfortable with this idea that like, okay, it's there. I don't have to finish it all today. I don't have to do it all right now. Like it's just going to be there and it's going to continue on. And if I step away from this for a second, it's okay. It's still going to accumulate, but it's going to be just fine, because I have the confidence in myself that I'm going to address it and take care of the essential things. So in the spirit of starting off this new year strong, let's redefine success and our value as far as productivity goes, okay? I have this quote written in my office, and this came up during a coaching call because this is something, like I said, that I am constantly working on as well. Reminding myself that my productivity is not tied to my value. The more I achieve doesn't make me a better person. The more things that I check off my list, the more things I can do in my business, the more clients I have, all of that, it doesn't make me a better person at my core. Now, this quote on my desk, it says, "My value is tied to my productivity and achievement." But productivity and achievement are crossed off. So those words are crossed off. Oh, and I have the word accomplishments on there too. So my value is tied to my productivity, achievement, and accomplishments. Those 3 things are crossed off, and I replaced those 3 words with the word presence. My value is tied to my presence. Presence in my business, presence with my family, presence with myself, and in all of the little magical, irrelevant moments that make up this beautiful life. Because really, what we're chasing is presence. That idea that you're going to check everything off of your list and then you're going to close your computer and be really, really present with your family or your partner or your kids or even just yourself or your pets. It's not actually true. We are chasing presence. We're chasing that time with those people that are important to us. And essentially what we're doing is we've shifted into this hustle culture of do, produce, accomplish, achieve, that the balance is off, right? We've forgotten that really the presence is the part that makes up who we are and who we want to be. And I also want to add this in here too, because I can't talk about productivity without talking about rest. You've probably heard this before, how rest is productive. Now, I had heard that a million times before. And honestly, what I would do is I would just roll my eyes, be like, that's lame. That's for people who don't have enough grit to keep going, right? Like, I'm going to keep going. I'm too productive to stop and rest. It's actually true. I hate to break it to you. It is true. Your rest is productive. And I don't just mean like rest as in like sleep, but rest in your brain, rest in your social interactions, rest in physically doing things. All of these things are productive. Because if you think about it, okay, let's say you go on vacation and you're going on vacation, I don't know, let's just say you're going on a cruise ship. I love cruises. You're going on a cruise ship and there's no cell service. So you have no choice but to rest and not work, okay? There's no option of working. You also, I don't know, your computer was left at home or your phone. All of it was left at home. So you have no way of working and you're forced to rest. It's going to take you a couple days, minutes, hours, a little bit of time to actually sit into that like rest, to lean into that, and then to actually start resting. But then when you come back from this amazing vacation where you rested, what do? You're ready to hit the ground running. You're excited. You're more productive. You're more ready to tackle these things. So it's a matter of finding the balance and truly believing that rest actually is productive, that it is a good use of your time to rest. And that doesn't mean like go take a nap or like go to sleep. It might mean that, of course, but it also means to rest your brain, to rest in your business, to rest your social interactions. Like I said, all of these things can overstimulate us. And when we're overstimulated with all of these things, and you know yourself best, like you know when you're starting to feel like, ooh, at that edge, like, oh my goodness, I'm starting to get, like this is just getting to be too much. That's usually the time when you need to pull back a little bit and say, okay, I'm going to rest. And so maybe we head into this year as it being a priority to pay attention to when we feel the need to rest or when we're feeling overstimulated in certain areas of our life, and then prioritizing rest and ditching that story that, again, your value is tied to your productivity. So if I stop for even a second, I'm not as valuable. That's just simply not true. So to head into this new year, I have some questions to ask yourself and to be really real and really honest with yourself about. I always am going to ask you to be honest with yourself, but these are tied to productivity. And don't worry, next week I am going to be back with another episode on productivity, and we'll get into the strategy and we'll get into the tips and all of those good things. But this week, I want you to think about these questions and be really honest with yourself, okay? So the first question is, what is your capacity? I think a lot of times, I see this happen often, is that we have this to-do list and we beat ourselves up at the end of the day because we didn't get everything done. Okay, we're like, I'm awful, I'm terrible, I suck, I didn't get everything on my list done. But really, when you realistically look at that list, like, did you have the capacity to do all of those things in that time frame that you gave yourself? Usually when I ask clients that question, the answer is typically no. And it's pointless to beat yourself up about it because who is that benefiting, right? So what is your capacity? What are you able to take on now? What are you comfortable taking on? What is your capacity? The next question is, what is reasonable? So along the same lines here, what is reasonable for you to feel like you can accomplish or do in a certain time frame? I think it's so important to look at these things and to recognize that if you have this pattern of continuously putting 1,000 things on your list or putting 1,000 things on your shoulders and that pressure and you're carrying it around and you just can't get it done, it's not productive. In this whole thing's about productivity, but it's not productive in a sense that it's not good for how you show up. It's not good for your thoughts. It's not good for those around you. Okay. Next question is, what does success look like for you at the end of each day? So if you, again, are being really honest with yourself about what does success look like at the end of the day, what would you say? I know for me, success at the end of the day is that my kids know that I love them and that I spent quality time with them uninterrupted. It looks like I felt like I had a purpose in that day, that I helped somebody in that day, that I made a difference in somebody's life, even if it was just a small way. For me, that's success. So that's what's on my list, and that is enough. So for you, what is success at the end of every day? What is success at the end of the month? What will you look back on at the end of this month and say, I was successful? Versus, oh my gosh, I had 1,000 things on my list and I only got 5 of them done. Well, what were those 5 things? Let's call that success. It's all about how you spin things in your mind. I heard this quote the other day that your reality is shaped by your thoughts. So essentially what we're doing, if our thoughts create our reality, then essentially what we're doing is we're just lying to ourselves, right? We're basically just creating this wonderful thing or this awful thing, right? So why not lie to ourselves and make it really, really good? So success at the end of the month may just be those 5 things that were on your list. And that, again, is enough. What does success look like at the end of the quarter, at the end of the year? Now, the last question I have for you today is, what are your priorities? Oftentimes we skew this and we're focusing, when we really sit down and we look at this, we find that we're focusing our time and our energy on things that are not actually our priority. So what are your priorities? What are your values? And is your time being spent on those things? These are all ways that we can help redefine what productivity means this year and make sure that we're focusing on the things that really, really matter. Because in the end, a lot of the things that we think matter actually don't matter. So think about that for a little bit. Think about it for this week. And don't worry, next week I will be back, like I said, with another episode on productivity. And I'll be back with all the strategies and the tips and the tricks and all the things that you were probably looking for today that you didn't get today. But hopefully you'll walk away with a new outlook on productivity, a little bit more grace to give to yourself as we head into this new year, and also thinking about what success looks like for you. So I will see you next week in the next episode, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Beyond the Classroom. If you know something has to change and you're ready to take the next step to make it happen, whether it's in or out of the classroom, Let's talk it through together. Schedule a no-obligation chat with me and we can talk through where you're stuck, how to get you unstuck, and how to keep you moving forward. Schedule your free call today by clicking the link in the show notes. I can't wait to connect with you.